I'd love to see some of the people we serve believe that places like the BBC and Channel 4 are places that they could work.
With Channel 4 coming and speaking to me, giving me the opportunity, maybe they can do that and spread the word around the whole of the UK.
For Channel 4 to go from a good company in terms of talent management to a great company, we need talented, diverse people within our organisation.
Joe and I, over the last sort of year and a half, developed an interactive diversity programme where we were going to take senior executives from Channel 4 and the BBC, and rather than go through the usual sort of equality and diversity training, is actually take them out into the community and into other sectors and show them diversity in action.
The first person that I'd like to congratulate and say well done to completing the 3 weeks is Hannah.
LEAP's a fantastic little organisation that for 17 years has transformed the lives of people from disadvantaged communities by teaching them the skills, behaviour and attitude to succeed in work and life in general.
Well, what a journey. I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it.
It's helped me a lot in developing my confidence.
Thank you to staff here at LEAP helping me get through some barriers I've had.
LEAP is based in Brent. I've known Tunde, the Chief Executive, for 20 years.
And through her I met Joe Taylor, Channel 4. And they came with a party of fairly senior people from BBC and Channel 4, and they came. We did a presentation.
I was really late, so I arrived about, well over halfway through Tunde's big barnstorming speech. But even listening to that for sort of 10 minutes or so was enough to really get me interested in what they were doing.
In the job description.
It just really struck me that they were doing something very, very practical and on the ground that had, you could see very tangible results.
I just got a job with Four Seasons Hotel through LEAP.
I'm working at Waitrose in Kensington, and I got the job through LEAP.
I'm a great believer that all of us together need to be interested and take some responsibility for trying to do something to try and make this world a better place. So it wasn't strange for me that they should come and be interested, but it was warming.
Hi. Good afternoon, I'm Scott.
When I came back to talk to Tunde and I said, I'd really like to be involved, Tunde pretty much said, Nick, you're doing mock interviews.
How was your journey here today? It was fine. It was okay, actually, yes.
The most difficult bit was the interview.
They just shoot questions at you.
Which was filmed.
It's all on camera and then they show you your reaction.
I thought you were really relaxed and you made great eye contact. That was really good. I thought one thing that you could think about is that it's always great to have a story to tell.
We get daily feedback from our clients on what we do, and in the 11 years of doing it, we've never had such feedback about that session as we did when Nick came. So it was absolutely wonderful. It really does make both us as workers and our clients feel valued, gives us a lift that people from a completely on the surface different line of work are interested in what we do.
Before I start, I sign a contract.
Absolutely.
It was a real eye-opener and a real inspiration to see people who had lots and lots to offer, but were just different from a lot of the people in the world that I know. And you think we've got to be more flexible, we've got to be more open-minded to just understand that there's lots of people out there with lots and lots to give, and we have to find a way of tapping into that. Thanks, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
The reason we chose Barclays is that 15, 20 years ago, Barclays was a pioneer in terms of equality and diversity.
As an organisation that services communities all over the world, we need to represent those communities. And as part of our drive to change, we want to make sure that at every level within our organisation, we have a diverse representation of talent. I think for any organisation to be the best that it can be, it wants to recruit the best and brightest talent. And that means looking at diversity through all lenses. If you think about it, having male, pale and stale, everyone in their 40s, wearing a suit, same education level, the diversity of thought won't be very broad. If you bring people in from different backgrounds and different challenges in their life experience, you get a much more positive and lively debate around how to produce the best results for your shareholders and your customers, or indeed, if you're a broadcaster, for your audience.
I think you've got to ground the whole diversity argument in the business. I mean, they're the three strands. There's the business strand, the moral strand, and the legal strand. But I see the moral and legal strands as supporting the business case. You've got to sell it on the basis of the business. You know, how can you argue that if you're only using a portion of the talent available, or you're going to the same sources, that you're really tapping into the potential of diversity?
The City Gate was actually set up 11 years ago by local residents from local churches in Tower Hamlets who worked in the city, and it was set up to bring hope to the local community in Tower Hamlets through engaging local young people and unemployed adult women into various training programs, trying to upskill them and give them the experience and qualifications that they need to really progress in life.
We've got a lot of very passionate young people. A lot of them are very ambitious, and they've got that hunger in their belly.
City Gateway ran a media course, which Gateway Media was the tutors on, and since Gateway Media was there, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Just give me a job here. And once the course had finished, they offered me a work placement. And then about a year and a half later, I was employed as a full-time member of staff as a cameraman editor.
It would be great if there was some sort of route set up in the industry to allow individuals who have come along this path to get a look in.
With Gateway Media, I'm learning to film and edit.
But quite often we feel we're knocking on very tightly closed doors.
You've had Channel 4 and BBC and ITV and what have you come down previously to kind of, as news stories if you like, to see some of the work that we're doing. In this particular instance, I think it was Joe got in touch, wanted to come down and see someone in Tower Hamlets, and got in touch with the Chief Executive of Tower Hamlets, Kevin Collins, who I know very well. He knows City Gateway very well, and suggested to him that they may come down here for a visit to the centre.
What was really impressive about walking into that organisation, and I think Nick Schweimer felt exactly the same, was that we sat in two groups and all the barriers were down as individuals.
The formal ways of trying to create more equal opportunities, they're all there. But I think nothing quite helps like being there on the ground at the organisations like City Gateway that are doing it, hearing firsthand what sort of life experiences people are going through.
And in that context, Shah also shared about how he'd come through an apprenticeship programme to be now working at Gateway Media, which is a social enterprise within City Gateway.
They called me in, they're saying, there's these people coming in, maybe we would like for you to chat to them, because previously loads of people come in and I'll chat to them. They thought it would be a good idea to see what City Gateway was like and the progression routes people have come through. So I came in thinking, okay, this is just some people, funding, blah, 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 blah. We played a video which I helped make, which was a City Gateway promotional video.
City Gateway means a lot to me because it is the starting point of my future.
So I told them I wanted to get into media. They said, have you applied for such and such? And I said, yeah, I applied for Channel 4 and like a couple of times. Like, so how many times? I said 4 times. Like, what did you hear back? I said, what do you mean I heard back? I didn't hear back. And they all started laughing. I was like, I'm being serious. Again, like, what are you laughing for? They said, do you know who we are? I was like, no, I don't know who you are, actually. I just thought you were some really high up people somewhere. They go, yeah, we're from Channel 4 and the BBC. I'm like, okay, now's my chance. Like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
You know, you had to look at Charles and what he'd been doing, and what he said to me really hit me really hard, because he'd applied for a job at Channel 4 and hadn't, in my time, got through. And I suddenly thought, well, I go out to organisations and say, we're open for business, it's a really simple application process, we're about diversity, equality of opportunity, all of those high and socially value-driven statements. But actually we were failing to connect on a personal level.
Jo Taylor, she said, contact me. I contacted Jo Taylor. She pointed me towards Charlotte Black. I went and met Charlotte Black at the Channel 4 studios, chit-chat about what I wanted to do. I said I wanted to work in film, and 2 days later, after meeting Charlotte, I was offered a job on a feature film called Rafter Rafter, and I was like, how did this happen? 4 years, and then in about 3 weeks, like, everything just exploded. I was like, this is brilliant. And I couldn't even ask for it. It just fell in my lap. I was like, yeah.
Charles jokingly said it fell into his lap, but it didn't fall into his lap. He created that opportunity for himself. Channel 4 and the BBC are always trying to increase their talent search, but sometimes incredibly difficult. So this gave us a real opportunity to get out there on sort of the grassroots level and for people to see what's out there.
But now we know about City Gateway, it's our responsibility and my responsibility as head of Learning and for Talent to take that out with 10 advocates. And that can grow, and it's their responsibility as well as my responsibility to drive that forward.
So what we've got already now is the seeds and the will to really develop and grow that, you know, through Joe and through others. Already we've started to have discussions with Channel 4, talking about how Channel 4 can develop their own apprenticeship programme, how we can be a part of that.
We have productively gone out and worked with more organisations as a result of going to City Gateway. I've made it everybody's personal objective to do that and do that across the country, so that it's not just about helping one person, it's about helping thousands of people.
The greatest wealth of this country is its people. If we leave certain parts of the country or certain communities within the country untapped, we're missing out on potential nuggets, potential stars. That's why it matters. We have to make sure we embrace every community within this country, because we are the wealth of this nation.
What I can't understand is why nobody has done it before. You know, it is a no-brainer.